everyone, welcome back to Creatively Crafted Life. This is Melanie, and here is my final video for my December daily books. This is them. There are two of them, and they are some chunky monkeys, and I learned a few lessons along the way. So I did create signatures, which is what each one of these sections is, and you'll see there's quite a bit of a gap in between here, and that's because I didn't want this book to go like this. I wanted it to be fairly compact, you know, the right thickness, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So lesson learned is next time, if I'm gonna go chunky, like lots of layers, I need to make my signatures smaller and have more of them. So I can't remember how many pages I ended up in here. With 8 pages is too much. So I'm thinking maybe maximum 4 if you're going to do a lot of layers. You probably can't err on the side of more signatures rather than fewer. So anyways, I'm still happy with how it turned out, and let me show you what I did. So as I said, these were little golden books, and because this was such a big book, I had to get another one, and fortunately I was able to find one. There are slight differences. This is an older edition. You can tell by the colors it's slightly different. Like this one here has almost an iridescent gold on it. This is just painted. Yeah. So that's the albums, and then the edges or the binding, I used this fabric that I just picked up at Hobby Lobby. And along where I sewed in the signatures, I added these buttons. So they're both exactly the same. So when they're sitting on my bookshelf, they'll be okay. I did contemplate adding a charm down the edge, and I think because of the way the buttons are, and this is a pretty busy fabric to start off with, I don't think I'm going to do that. But I do have a wood veneer piece that says December 2019 on it, and I think what I'll probably do is just hang it from here. So this will be a little bit of a charm, but just on one volume. The back, I added this Santa fabric that I also found at Hobby Lobby, and I just adhered this with Heat and Bond, and I opted not to wrap the edges. So these are the raw edges, and I did fray the fabric a little bit because I thought that way it would look a little bit more vintagey. Same with this here, I frayed the edges. Some people would like to put additional trim and stuff, and I just decided to keep this a little more on the simple side. Okay, so let's look at volume 1. Assuming you've all watched all the previous videos, I'm hoping not to talk too much about this, but you know I get all excited and I get a little rambly, so I apologize in advance if I do. The inside of both books, I used this Santa paper. I can't remember where it came from because I got it in a grab box. The end or the back side, I used this red fabric, red paper. So they're exactly the same as far as the construction goes. So we open the book. We have the little golden book opening page. I added this postcard in here at the last minute. I didn't add any details or anything on it, just to protect this paper here from this wood veneer, because this paper is pretty thin and fragile, and this just gives it a little bit of buffer. Here's my sequin pocket, and then we go right into the book. So day 1, it's a couple pages. Day 2, we've got the flip up. Day 3, again, another flip up. I was kind of on a roll with this kind of layout. Also, this was another page from day 4, not day 4, day 3. And as is this is all part of day 3. As is this last page. Day 4, I did a little bit of journaling on this little flip here. And this is actually the middle of the signature. So you'll see that when this is stitched in, I ended up with a little bit of string. You could cut this closer, but I opted to leave this in. I've seen some people add like little paper charms or something on the end, and for right now, I'm just going to leave it. If I change my mind, I can always come back and add them later. Day 5, again, still following that same kind of model with a flip up. More pictures from day 5. This was that multi-layered dimensional piece. I wish I hadn't gotten so bulky because it would have been nice to have done this more often, but you know, I'm happy I did the one. The rest of them I kept pretty simple. Day 6, again, another one of those flip ups. Day 7 is where I kind of start to veer off a little bit. So I've got, when you open this up, quite a few large photos in this one. I also have a pocket with inserts with additional photos. I did not put anything on the back side of these. All I did was add a tab, and then those just slide into this pocket, which happens to be an envelope that I got one of my Christmas cards in. There's also a pocket card in here and the tea, because I had an advent calendar. That's that. Again, this is part of that postcard I added at the front to protect the front page. I didn't add anything on here. I don't know. I'm kind of done with this project. Like, I don't really want to do anything more. But maybe next year when I'm prepping, I might just, you know, have a look-see and see if I can find a sticker or something and stick that on there. And then this is the last page of the signature, and it's got a really big flip up. So as you can see, there's quite a gap in the spine like I pointed out earlier, but that's just because I wanted the album to close and not be expanded open. This was another one of those cards that I just kept flat this time, part of the new signature. This one here has a flip up this way and also has a pocket with a couple of tags in there. Let's see, that was awkward. This one here has a little pocket with some pictures inside the pocket. And I did put things on the back of this one. So I wasn't consistent in putting them on all of them, but I did on quite a few, just to finish it off. This was just a decorative element, as was this one. That was day 10, and then the rest of day 10. Day 11, this was when I went to see a light show. So this is another bag with a pocket. I have a Project Life card in here. Well, it's not really a Project Life card. I guess it's a 4x6 card that I cut from paper, decorated on the other side. And then I have a collage, and I actually butted two up together so that they came out in one piece. This one here has a flip out this way, and this one has a flip out this way. Now the only thing I want to caution you, I didn't think about this, but this is really close to the binding. When you're working on this outside of the binding, you don't always think about it. So just something to keep in mind if you are going to do something like this pre-bound, before it's bound, you may want to flip the flip or just make sure you give yourself enough room that you'll have to extend. I lucked out and it flips open okay. This is the middle of the book, and again, same kind of thing with the binding. This one here is the back side of that paper bag, which I glued down so it formed a pocket there. And then I've got a couple pieces in there. One is a tag from my gloves, and then some journaling, and then this is just a pocket card with the T on the other side, and that just slides in like that for day 12. This one here is another little flip out pocket. There's also a tag that pulls out, and I have journaling on the back. This is a flat pocket, so meaning that I have no dimension behind this. All I did was just add a little bit of tape to form the pocket. Or it's one of those extra pages. Same with this one. Here's another one too where I just wasn't, you know, very careful about thinking about where this would end up being. This one here, the tag kind of floats around. I didn't add anything on the back. There is a little charm on here that I just got from Amazon. And I designed this in such a way that it does kind of tuck in like that and to hold in place. And then inside I've got just some patterned paper that I just left the one way with a photo and journaling on the other side. And then this one has a screenshot of some text messaging and some embellishment, another tea, and some decorative items. There we go. This one here is actually the pictures of CD jacket. This one here goes with this page, and again we're back to that little flip up system. On this one here I have a pocket made out of a cellophane bag, and then I put a Project Life card in there with the T on the back end. And then for photos I have created a little collage on both sides, and that just tucks into the paper bag. And then the original plan was to have this page meet up with this page and be a 2-page spread, but it just didn't work out that way. But it's kind of okay, because then that means the next volume starts with a little golden page book, which I like. So that is volume 1. Volume 2, like I said, starts off with the golden page, little golden book page. This one I just tucked a small flap in the middle. Now this is only held together by one stitch, like one stitch through the middle, but you can see it's in there pretty good, so I'm not too worried about that. And this one here I made a little coin that slides in and out of this pocket. I've got a little pocket on the side here with Project Life card and some journaling and additional photos. This one I created this little film strip from a die cut that I had, and then another flip up. I'm not going to take all of these out because this is a lot of little bits and pieces. I have like little individual photos, and I've got little little embellishments from an ephemera pack or cut aparts that I've just kind of tucked in here for just for fun. And then this here has a tag, and then the T's on the back side. And just to kind of keep it in place, I'm just tucking it under the ribbon. There's another full page photo. This side here I've got another little pocket, and I've tucked 2 photos with some journaling on the back side, and they just kind of stick out like that. This was all about my Crafty advent calendar. This is there's a tag in here. I guess it's like more a Project Life card, but I kind of made it into a tag. And then all the items that I got in the Crafty calendar, I did a little collage for, and I've got this little waterfall of photos. And I've got another embellishment page just for fun. Again, another simple page. I did tuck a journal card with the T behind this photo, and I just have it so that the little sticker pops out, hopefully to give indication that there's something there to look at. Photos and stickers. This one here I opted to cut one of the pages in half just to add a little bit of variety. And then here's the other half of that card that's only secured in the middle. And that's the end of that signature. This one here, I just tucked my special Christmas cards in here, and by special, I value all the Christmas cards I get, but often people just sign their name and no personal message, or they actually went through a little bit of effort and made their own cards. Those I consider ones that I like to keep, plus any photo cards that people send of themselves, I will tuck in here once I no longer need them, once I no longer have them on my fridge on display. Christmas Day, I have a flip up that way. And then I created this pocket for a whole lot of pictures. I mean, this is, talk about seriously jamming photos in. Most of these I have like Project Life cards on the back, just with people's names, etc. You could double these up, but because I wanted to include people's names and stuff on here, I opted to keep, for the most part, only single-sided for photos. And then I still had more photos, so I had another flip up here with those photos. This was kind of playing off a pre-printed design and adding a photo to fit within one of the boxes, and then I just layered up all the embellishments. I kind of like how that one turned out. This one here, I've got another tag that just slides in with journaling on the back to tell the story of that photo, and this one here I just have a label. On this side here, I just love this paper so much that I didn't want to do anything with it, so it's almost like an embellishment page. And then a couple of simple photos, simple pages with some lovely photos and embellished with stamped images. Now I had said in the video I was going to come back and embellish this with some glossy accents and some stickles, and I didn't do that. Oops. This one here is like a gatefold where this pops open, have some photos and some journaling. And then just more photos and a label. Another collage and a label, and I trim these out of pattern paper. This one here, I've got another flip up with some more photos and journaling. This is near the end of the album, just a simple page for the day I returned home, and then once I was home again, another couple of simple pages to document that day. And then the book ends with Happy Christmas to all, and to all a good night. That is my December daily album. I hope you enjoyed the flip through. I hope you could see how it all came together. I'm really pleased with it. Like I said, I've learned a couple lessons, so if I do this again, well actually I will be doing more little golden book journals because I think they're adorable. And they're just a great size. They're about 6 by 8. And it's just fun to incorporate something a little bit different. So thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for joining me throughout the entire series. I hope you were inspired, or at the very least got some sort of entertainment from it. And until next time, happy crafting.